There's certain horses that come along that end up being fixtures, whether it be in your life or at the stable. There are horses, whether it be White Tiger or the horses that we've had for a long time, even though coming up on horses like Patrick the Piranha. And for many of you, you may not know this, but Sintra was retired last week. His left hind ankle was starting to deteriorate a little bit to the point where it was taking him longer to recover, and there was quite a bit of tenderness and soreness there for 2-3 days after he raced. And as an athlete, I'm sure we know lots of baseball players and football players and hockey players that probably get through the same stuff. But to have Sintra slide a little bit and say, well, we'll race him at Grand River, London, or Flamborough, keep him away from Mohawk, and then instead of doing maintenance work on him every month, it'll have to be every 2 weeks, and then at some point that will slip, and then you just have a lame Sintra. You've cheapened him to a level where you never thought he'd be because you didn't notice him getting there. And that was the road he was turning onto a couple of weeks ago. His last lifetime start was a win at Grand River, but Harry had told me that was on a Friday. He said Saturday he jogged him, he wasn't too bad. Sunday he had the day off, and Monday he was quite sore on it, to the point where they wanted to get him looked at, got him re-x-rayed and fluoroscoped, and sure enough, that left hind ankle had some pitting, I guess, some roughness. You could see the joint itself was in trouble, and now it had started to kind of chew away at the cartilage of the bone underneath, and it was sore. He was going to be, and it wasn't getting any better. He's 9 or 10 years old. His horse had made, 1.7 million, took a mark of 47, was an O'Brien Award winner, won the Gold Cup for me, and it made no sense to continue on down the road with Sintra. And one of the prouder moments I've had in the stable was explaining this bad news to our clients, and not one person, not one client said, well, is it worth getting a second opinion about his racing career, or is there something we can do to keep him racing? What if we just put him on gate, or what if we just sold him? No one. And that's the type of stuff that makes me very proud to be the manager of the stable. So thank you for that. Now there's other times when we have horses that have slipped away, we've sold them, whatever, and very rarely they find their way back to the stable. Especially if those horses have endearing qualities to the stable. Now, many of you know that Unbeatable Kemp, or Cake, as my daughter called them, was claimed. She took it actually better than Mum did, I know that. But it's part of the game, and although there are many different sides to horse racing, there is the racing side, there is the business side of horse racing. Now, they claimed Unbeatable Kemp. I know his knees were a problem. They always were. We work on them constantly. They're always at a tipping point. But quite frankly, he was in decent form when he was claimed. That's why he was claimed. Now, he was claimed for quite a bit more money. I'll get to that. He was claimed, and the horse, his first start, he was flat. Second start, I think he did win, and then he was immediately poor after that, right up until they started putting him in for 15. Now, we had him claimed for 50,000 plus allowances, which was 62.5. So to see him go to 15 claimer for the first time, I thought, he's got to be really lame. But he wasn't. He just raced bad. Didn't see him the next week. Then they have him back in for 15. He doesn't race good again. At this point, the current ownership had approached Dominic to take the horse back to train. Dominic called me and explained, what had gone on, and they'd asked him. I said, all the same, I'll just buy him back rather than that happen. If we're going to manage him, we're going to manage him. We're not going to manage him for someone else. So I had spoke to Rob Fellows briefly, and obviously I know Rob Fellows very, very well, and certainly no animosity from my end. And I'd said, listen, would you be interested in selling the horse back? We ended up buying the horse back for $15,000 plus taxes. So 16,905, whatever it was. The reason being that we can put him in for 12 now with his allowance and race him at 15. We don't have to bring him back to the level we lost him at right now. I would like to see him get back to that level, but he certainly doesn't have to go there right away. First and foremost, managing his knees and the other little minor issues, what we would call secondary issues because of those knees, are first and foremost. So that's what we're going to do with Cake, with Unbeatable Kemp. He is in good spirits and he's sound right now. We do plan on racing him next week, and we do plan on putting him in the optional 12 climber, which he would go for 15, and that would be fine for now. It gives us a good starting point. So the negotiation was simple. What do you want for him? This is why I can't give you any more than this, and that is how we ended up on the figure of 15,000. Because in the 15 he was in with allowances, he went for 18,750. So Unbeatable Kemp, I didn't want to make this video though because I didn't want to make it till now because Oliver had his awards banquet in Ontario last night. So Amy is in Ontario right now, and she's going to go to the barn in a moment and see Unbeatable Kemp and hopefully be very happy. So I didn't want to tip my hand just yet. I wanted it to be a surprise. So Kemp is back with us. Cake is back with us. He's going to start racing next week. Dominic jogged him, said he looks sound. We did x-ray his knees, and full disclosure, his knees are problematic still, but we were able to manage them quite well before, and hopefully we can do that again moving forward. So that's where we're at with Unbeatable Kemp. Cake. He's back with the stable, and he will be racing next week. As for Sintra, I believe we have we're putting together maybe a retirement ceremony for him. How couldn't he deserve one? Canada's Pacing Horse of the Year, I believe, O'Brien Award winner, I forget what year it was, took a mark of 47, raced at the very elite level for quite a while, and then in his twilight joined our barn and did nothing but good for us. Just such a classy horse. I couldn't think of any better ending than to simply give him back to where it all started, to give him back to the Maneri family, where he's going to live out his life as he should, a classy veteran. So with that, a upbeat video for you today. 2 pieces of information many of you may have already known about Sintra, but if you didn't, now you do. And very few of you knew about Unbeatable Kemp. Now you do. Now, as far as the shares for Unbeatable Kemp, the people that owned Kemp are going to get first offering at those shares. The rest of the shares, I suspect, will go up for sale very soon. But he is back with us, and we plan to race him next week. So with that, I'll let you go. I'm on my way back. I stopped on my way home from Indiana last night. We did have a babysitter stay overnight, so there's no real need for me to be home last night. So I stopped and I don't know what time, Perrysburg, I think. It was weird because when I went to Indiana from Northfield, I went through Columbus, but when I came back from Indiana, it was like I was going towards Toledo. So I stayed in Perrysburg, Ohio, and I'll be home in about 20 minutes and over to the barn. So that's how my day is starting. Got a good sleep, woke up good, refreshed, and off to Pennsylvania this afternoon. Addie and Ava and me, so Ava, Addie, and Daddy are heading to the Meadows for this evening's races. It should be a lot of fun. A lot of powerful looking horses with good spots, being in good spots today ahead of us. So I'm hoping for a very good day in Pennsylvania. So with that, I'm going to let you go. I will talk to you all very soon. I hope you have a wonderful autumn day. It is a beautiful day